Overthinking is one of the most mentally exhausting patterns a person can experience. It shows up as replaying conversations long after they end, imagining multiple outcomes for situations that may never happen, and questioning even the smallest decisions. For people who overthink everything, the brain feels like it is always on, jumping from one thought to another without rest. This isn't because they are weak or incapable of control. In fact, overthinking often comes from a brain that is highly alert, deeply sensitive, and constantly trying to protect itself. At its core, overthinking is rooted in survival. The human brain evolved to detect threats and anticipate danger. Thousands of years ago, thinking ahead meant staying alive. Today, that same system is still active. But the threats are rarely physical. Social rejection, embarrassment, failure, or uncertainty trigger the same alarm systems as real danger. The brain responds by analyzing every detail, believing that more thinking will lead to safety. For overthinkers, this survival mechanism becomes overactive, treating ordinary situations as potential threats that must be solved immediately. One of the main reasons the brain can't stop is its inability to tolerate uncertainty. Overthinkers struggle with not knowing how things will turn out. The unknown feels unsafe, so the mind tries to predict every possible outcome. This creates endless what-if scenarios that never lead to resolution. Even when there is no clear answer, the brain keeps searching, convinced that stopping would mean losing control. Unfortunately, certainty is rarely achievable, so the thinking never ends. Overthinking also tends to focus either on the past or the future. Some people get stuck replaying past events, analyzing mistakes, and wishing they had acted differently. This backward-looking pattern is often fueled by guilt or shame. Others fixate on the future, imagining worst-case scenarios and preparing for problems that may never occur. Both patterns feel productive, but neither actually solves anything. Instead, they trap the person in mental loops that drain emotional energy and increase stress. Perfectionism plays a major role as well. Many overthinkers believe that there is a right answer to every situation and that making the wrong choice will have serious consequences. This belief often forms early in life, especially in environments where mistakes were criticized or approval depended on performance. Over time, the brain learns that being imperfect is dangerous. As a result, every decision becomes heavy with pressure, and the mind refuses to settle until it finds a flawless solution. Even though perfection doesn't exist, anxiety strengthens this pattern further. When anxiety is present, the brain's threat detection system becomes hypersensitive. Neutral events are interpreted as negative, and small issues feel overwhelming. The mind constantly scans for signs of danger, both in the environment and within itself. Thoughts like "what if I fail?" or "what if they judge me?" trigger emotional reactions that lead to even more thinking. This creates a loop where thoughts cause anxiety, and anxiety creates more thoughts. Overthinking is not just a mental process. It's deeply emotional. A single thought can spark fear, sadness, or tension, which then feeds back into the mind and produces more thoughts. Many overthinkers then begin to analyze their own thinking, wondering why they can't stop or what is wrong with them. This self-monitoring keeps the cycle alive. The more they try to force their thoughts away, the stronger those thoughts become. Over time, this constant mental activity takes a serious toll.